All right, our next lesson is going to be multiplying fractions times whole numbers. So last lesson we learned when we multiply whole numbers first and fractions second, it means that we have a certain number of these fraction pieces. Now, if the fraction comes first, that means that we have a fraction of that whole number. What is that fraction of a whole number? Like if I say what's 1/2 of 6, I would do 1/2 times 6. If I say I want what is 1/3 of 4, I would do 1/3 times 4. So we're going to actually go back to over here, or go forward onto this page. And if the fraction comes first, now remember I said if the fraction comes first, or the whole number comes first, it means two different things, and that's very important for you to know. This means you're looking for a fraction of that whole number. If I wanted to say 2/3 of the class wore red today, for red day, then I would say 2/3 of that, the number of students. That's when you would put the fraction first. So you always use multiplication if you're trying to find 2/3 of something. Okay, so that is something that's important for you to remember for this lesson. Okay. So here's a tip. When multiplying whole numbers, by fractions, make sure both factors are in fraction form. So just like we did in our last lesson, we have to make sure that they are in fractions. So for this, we are actually going to be changing this to 1 times. And this would be 1/2 times. We're flipping them around for today. Okay. Just because I want to only focus on fractions being first. So that's why I'm switching it around here. And I'm actually going to take my white out here, and that'll be easier for us to follow. As I take the notes. Okay. Those are 2 separate fractions. All right, so standard multiplication method, which is exactly what we did last lesson, okay, is change both products to fractions. So if I'm going to do 3/4 of 5, actually, let's go up here. I want to say the way that I would say this, you say this as 1/3 of 5. Okay. Or 1/2 of 4. Okay. So we're trying to find 3/4 of 5. Change them both to fractions. And now we're going to multiply towards 15 over 4. So when they do this, they're just saying multiply the fractions like that. Okay? They're just putting them together. And then simplify if needed. Of course we have to simplify because it's an improper fraction. So my answer would be 3 3/4. And that is in simplest form. I'm going to do one more here. 2/3 of 4. So we'll do 2 times 4, and 3 times 1, which would be 8/3. if I do, how many times does 3 go into 8? It goes in 2 times with 2 left over. So my answer would be 2 2/3. But how would I do it with models? Because you might be given models in your examples and your practice problems. So we're going to shade 3/4 5 times. So we have our quarters. We're going to shade 3/4. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, how many shaded parts do we have? We have 1, 2, 3. I'm actually going to write this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. I have 15 shaded parts. Okay, so my answer would be 15/4 because I have 15 1/4 pieces. Now I would have to simplify, which I would do it the same way. Three and 3/4. So let's do some examples. And in your textbook, this is lesson 8.2. Okay. And I'm going to go to page, this is volume 2. I'm going to go to page 335. And I'm going to do numbers, oh, that's not 335. That's going to be 339. I apologize. 339, I'm going to do 5 through 7. So this is 5 on page 339. Actually, I'm going to rewrite that. That was messy. Page 339. Okay, number 5 through 7. So 2/3 of 15. I'm going to do 2/3 times 15/1, which would be 30/3. My answer would be 10. So my answer over here would be 10. My next one is number 6. Would be 11/12 of 6. So I'm going to rewrite this as 11/12 times 6/1, which would be 66/12. So now I'm going to simplify. How many times is 12 going to 66? If I remember correctly, yes, that would be 12 times 5. So my answer is 5 6/12. Well, I have a feeling I might have to simplify that, so I'm going to go back to my simplifying questions. Now my first question is it half? 6/12 does go to 1/2 because 6 is half of 12. So that was my answer, 5 1/2. My last one, 7, is 5/8 of 16. So I'm going to rewrite it 5/8 times 16/1. Now I'm going to go down here and do 16 times 5 is 90 over 8. So 8 goes into 90 12 times with 2 left over. So 12 2/8. Now I'm going to see if I need to simplify. It is not 1/2. I can put 2 into 8 evenly. So my answer would be 12 1/4 would be simplified. Okay. And that is how you multiply fractions by whole numbers.